I went on a hunger strike for 42 days to highlight the experience of people who were applying for universal credit. And the 42 days idea was because people were being asked to live for 42 days with no money, which meant, to my mind, that they would have no access to food. So I went on a hunger strike for 42 days. Got mixed responses, and I think it raised the issue. Hi, Amanda. We lowered that time has now been lowered. What's now happened is that people now have to wait 35 days before they get any benefits. But already, I'm digressing. The reason I'm speaking to you today, you lovely, lovely people, is that I'm on a fast again. One of the things that I discovered when I was on the 42-day fast is that I stopped dissociating. Now, to the uninitiated, dissociation is horrible. It's a thing that enters my life roughly a third of the time. I lose a third of my life to dissociation. Basically, what happens is the world becomes completely unreal to me. I'll look at my hand. I'll believe in my heart of hearts my hand's not real. I believe the people around me aren't real. And I lose all emotions. Now, this was a really handy defense mechanism when I was growing up. Sadly, I was sexually abused, and that was the first time I recall dissociating. And basically, it's a defense mechanism, takes you away from that sort of horrible situation. But losing a third of your life to a condition is a pain in the arse. And it means that I'm effectively unemployable. I can do things. I can be a mental health campaigner. I can write a book. I can. There's a lot of things I can do, but a 9 to 5 job doesn't actually feel like one of them. Especially if you say to your employer, "I'm going to lose roughly a third of my time. I don't know when that's going to be, and you might have to be prepared for me to be weird with dissociation at work." And currently, I don't think there are many employers who are in that position. I think we've got a lot of work to do there. However, as I said, when I went on this 42-day hunger strike, my dissociation just stopped. For 42 days, I would have expected at least a couple of weeks of dissociation, and I didn't experience anything like it. Nothing. Now that was interesting. The other thing that really stood out for me was it really felt like I wasn't somebody who dissociated. That's difficult to describe, but that's kind of what it felt like. So I'm wondering if this is just one great big coincidence. I can't really explain why this might have happened or why this is happening. So I'm in the true sort of social scientist style, I'm experimenting on myself. I've decided again to not eat for 42 days, and throughout that time, I'm going to take my blood pressure, heart rate. I'll be taking vitamin pills, and I'll be drinking electrolytes. That's what seemed to keep me safe last time. When I told the GP one GP last time that I was going on a hunger strike for 42 days, he strongly warned me against it and said, of course, the NHS will be there to pick you up at the end. There was no picking up at the end. I didn't require any picking up at the end. I went to see his colleague. She tested my heart rate, blood pressure, and she took bloods, and everything was a-okay at the end of 42 days, except this thing that's nagging in my head. My dissociation stopped. I'm not asking anybody else to do this. This is just something I'm doing myself. I don't want anybody else to even consider it, and this may be a quirky thing for me. Or it may not actually be the case. It could just have been an absolute coincidence. Now, one of the theories that I'm cobbling together is that when you fast, when you go into ketosis, basically when your body starts eating itself, there's a feeling of heightened awareness that certainly I experienced, really from day 4, day 5, and I'm guessing it's because your lower mind, your lower brain, your monkey brain, it can't conceive that you'd be stupid enough not to eat food when it was plentiful. So this heightened awareness is to ensure that you're able to find food, hunt down wildebeest and whatnot. And I'm just wondering if the two things are connected: the heightened awareness and the loss of dissociation. I don't know. There's very, very little research out there on dissociation. It is a very little known condition, and it looks like nobody really gives a toss about dissociation. I recently spoke to a friend of mine who had a psychologist who didn't believe in dissociation, and then finally, when convinced that dissociation might be a thing, he, one, discharged her, and two, told her that whenever she experienced a dissociative episode, have a cold shower because that'll bring you back. That's bollocks, incidentally. So this is just one big long experiment. I'm hoping to, well, I will speak to you every day. Thanks, Amanda. I will be I will be sort of tuning in every day. I'll put up a video. I'll share it on Twitter, and hopefully, I need help with this. It is, fasting for 42 days is a challenge. I'm hoping that by the time I get to the end of the 42 days, I won't have dissociated. Now, I appreciate this is a sword of Damocles. It's a real. I've got some good news and I've got some bad news scenario, isn't it? The bad news is you're going to starve to death. Now, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. But I can't emphasize just how limiting dissociation is, what a large effect that has on my life, on the life of me and my lovely wife. We know how to handle me. We put me in a darkened room with loud American cop shows, and we wait for it to pass. I've got a degree in psychology, got a master's in social work, and the best we've got is we wait for it to pass. Yeah. Good question. If I don't dissociate in the next 42 days, will it make me not want to eat? Yeah, it will make me not want to eat, but also staying alive makes me want to eat. So, I don't know. I wonder if the meager research that I'm producing might interest somebody, a doctor, a psychiatrist, a neurologist, a psychoneurologist, somebody to pick up on this and research it and look into it, because there are a lot of people who dissociate, and if I can live a better life, if I can live my life more easily, then I think it's worth trying it out. So as I say, I'll be taking electrolytes, I'll be taking vitamin pills, I'll be measuring my heart rate, my blood pressure, and the sugar in my urine, which basically means that I'll be in a state called ketosis, which means that my body will be eating itself. So any support is welcome. I'm expecting flack. Don't really bother. It's very likely I'll just go, guys, forget it. because this is what I'm doing. I also appreciate that this may be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because I have, there might be an effect that because I believe it's going to work, it'll work. Let's see. It's worth a try. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye just now, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye.